listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. A loaded weekend of wrestling to talk about. WWE Night of Champions, AEW Forbidden Door 2026. So much to talk about, and unlike an AEW pay-per-view, we're going to try and not hold you too long here. Before we get into anything, because like I said, a lot to get into. As always, I'm one half of your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, he's got his fighting spirit ready. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah. Back at it again. Oops, all bangers. Lobster too buttery. Steak too juicy. And I'm ready to scoop it, slam it, and talk about a lot of wrestling that we had to endure over this very long weekend, Micah.
That's right. There was definitely a lot. Oops, all bangers. That makes me laugh every time. Oh, what's that Undertaker tweet? Huge pop.
Huge pop.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we will start with WWE Night of Champions. No Scoop 5, no extracurricular bull crap to get into WWE Night of Champions. They open this up with the King of the Ring tournament final. The ruler, Obafemi, versus the Yeet Man himself, Jey Uso. Now, I will preface this by saying that me and Ryan were together when watching this. So I didn't exactly take any notes like I did for the AEW show where I can kind of pause it and do all that, but most of it is just kind of a mental backlog type situation. Going into this was one of the things that I was worried about most. I was so worried that Jey Uso was going to win King of the Ring. And luckily, for my sake, but we're kicking the can down the road. Obafemi did pick up the win here. As far as the match goes, I thought it was about what I expected from Jey Uso and Obafemi. It's not going to blow you away, but they're not going to be in there for 15 minutes. Jay's going to do his 3 moves of doom. You got spear.
Oh, come on now.
Super kick and the splash. And Oba's going to,
Whoa, hold up, pause. He got the sleeper hold. Excuse you.
Oh, okay. 4.
Sleeper hold.
We're waiting on the 5th.
He's got the punch, the spit punch.
Oh, yeah, there we go. 5 moves of doom.
Yeah.
5 moves of oos.
5 moves of oos. There you go.
Anyways, but at the end of the day, Oba hits him with a huge fall from grace. Basically just manhandled him as he has been doing everybody. And Obafemi is your 2026 King of the Ring winner. Ryan, before we get into some of the stuff that happened on Raw, what did you think about the match and the victor?
Well, I thought it was a pretty good sprint. The match did not overstay its welcome. Jay proved that he could stand up to Oba, but of course he's not going to beat Obafemi. I never thought that was on the table. A lot of people were fantasy booking about the Brock appearance. It seemed like too many people were calling it for it to happen. And I will admit, Micah, I don't know if you remember, toward the end of the match, there was cause I watched the match twice because I watched it with you and I watched it before you got there. So I knew already going in. I knew when you were over my house watching the match what was going to happen, but the referee was making the last 3 count, and he kind of had his foot at the underneath the bottom rope where it looked like somebody was maybe going to come snatch him up out the ring, but they didn't do that. And yeah, Obafemi, King of the Ring, booked it perfectly. King Oba got a nice ring to it. I thought they did it right, Micah, until we got to Monday. And that's when things kind of went off the rails for me. I don't know. How do we segue into that, Micah?
Well, I guess we can just kind of talk about the segment at large, and then we'll just have to come back to the event. But go into Monday and the follow-up to Oba winning the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Right? So
it was there.
Oba basically tells everybody that he doesn't want the title shot. He's going to give up his title shot for a
It
chance.
was very vague how he put it. I will say that. Very vague.
Yeah. But
He didn't completely say that he was giving it up. He just said that he was foregoing it, I guess. Or the title will always be there, I think is the verbiage that he said.
yeah, the title will always be there, but he wants the like basically the fight, the ability to conquer Brock Lesnar and prove one last time. So they announced a Hell in a Cell match. There was a little back and forth between those two. I think Oba is excellent on the mic.
Whoa,
Brock,
pause. This is the first time that we're getting a real back and forth between these two. Like, I don't think Brock has cut a promo on Oba yet until that Monday.
that is kind of crazy. I mean, it's all been Heyman as it typically has, and that was kind of one of Oba's points too. He was like, you can't even talk on the mic, like talk for yourself,
Yeah.
But so now Oba went through all that to win King of the Ring just to challenge Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in a Hell in a Cell. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. Like the idea of seeing these two face again is not really interesting to me. When you add in the Hell in a Cell aspect of it, that does kind of move me. Like, I'm gonna watch this, obviously. The problem is just how we got there. And again, that was kind of my issue with Brock winning all the way at Clash in Paris. I don't think that had to happen. I still think Oba could have won that match. And then I like the option of Brock costing Oba King of the Ring, and then that being the reason that Oba agrees to a third match. Because this way, it just sounds so stupid to me and nonsensical. Because in my opinion, and Ryan, I feel like we probably share some of the same sentiment. Wrestling has always been about becoming champion, getting to that main event, because in, kayfabe, but kind of the basis for that was when you're in the main event, you're making more money. When you're the champion, you're making more money. So I get it for like a personal grudge match, but at the same time, why even I don't know, like, why even go through the King of the Ring tournament? I just feel like they could have crowned a different King of the Ring winner. I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me logically.
I like the fact that they're having this Hell in a Cell match. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be a great match. But, I understand there's a lot of Shield fans out there. To a lot of young fans, this is their Shawn and Triple H. But, man, I don't want to see this in the big year of 2026. And it just seems like that's Seth and Roman happening. It's just so like I'm just so sick of it, man. I don't want to see it anymore. But that's what we got. That's what we got, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, the best way I can summarize it is one step forward and two steps back, because it feels like every
Oh,
time. Well, I was gonna say it's like every time you finally feel like they're gonna go all in with a new star, they have to do something to pivot back to the guys we've been watching for 10 to 15 years. And I feel like this
yeah,
right here was just another slap in the face in that regard.
man. It didn't make any sense. Well, I guess now it does make sense why Seth went over Braun Breaker, but I think you could have just did Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. They had the history. They had that feud last year. They never had a one-on-one match. Wouldn't that have made more sense? Have Seth lose to Braun Breaker, and then we build up to. If you weren't gonna do Oba and Roman at SummerSlam, can we at least have Braun Breaker and Roman at SummerSlam? Where's that lead Braun for SummerSlam?
I have no idea. That's the thing too. The Vision is probably one of the biggest failed experiments ever, and nobody came out of it better. And
Ever?
somehow Rollins is the best to come out of it.
How crazy is that? I don't know if he came out on top in my eyes, but the fans are still behind him. I don't know, man. It did a lot of damage, but I'm excited to see Braun. I'm excited to see Brock and Oba in a Hell in a Cell match. That should be great.
Yeah. That's the only positive takeaway. Like when me and you were talking about it, you were like, I'm torn because I do want to see the match. And I do, but it's just how we got there. And I know what their basis is gonna be. Well, yeah, but we still gave Oba King of the Ring. So like we're still
You,
pushing him and we're still but like I
you
don't
know
know.
what? Looking back at it, both King of the Ring tournaments, men and women's, we really didn't even need it. Because if you were just gonna do EO and Liv at SummerSlam, why did they need to have a match at King of the Ring? And if you were gonna have Oba just forego his number one contendership, why even have the tournament?
Yeah. They could
You
have
know,
had
wasn't that just a big waste of time looking back?
100%. It just failed TV. And they could have had Braun and Seth just
Yeah.
like match up in the tournament and like that be the final. So then it like has added stakes too. And then everything would have
Can we
been
just had
fine.
can we just have Braun and Seth in a number one contendership match?
I mean, yeah, that works too. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
So
I don't like the fact that Braun's left out in the cold for SummerSlam.
not surprised. I think, we were joking about it before the show started. It's the Colin Coward. Hey, Braun Breaker, we're good. We have Obafemi now.
Oh man. It's crazy. You're exactly right though. Like that injury happened to Braun Breaker at the worst time. Because it happened when Obafemi was getting the rocket strapped to him. So
Yeah,
it's just felt like they didn't want to book two unstoppable forces at the same time.
which is crazy because that should be their new Brock and Roman. You know what I mean? They can run that at Mania multiple
Yeah,
times.
I'm sure it will down the road, but right now
2035.
it feels like a. Oh yeah, it's what we do. When Braun Breaker turns 38, he's gonna be setting up for that main event title run.
Then we can put a world title on him.
Yeah,
Only when you're closer to 40 instead of 30. But moving on, we've already alluded to it a little bit, but for the Queen of the Ring, we had Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Now, overall, I thought the match was solid, a little blasé. There's not a whole lot to really remark on here, but I think Io winning was the right choice, even though I had predicted Liv because I thought they may, or no, I predicted Io. I thought that maybe they were going to do an Io heel turn and then spin her towards Rhea, but that's not what they did. But I don't hate it. Again, it does feel a little nonsensical. They could have just had a match for the title or just said, hey, this is your SummerSlam opponent, like with Oba, and all that was nonsense. But regardless, here we are, a solid match, and it went 15 minutes. Did you have anything to add on to that, Ryan?
the match was fine. EO and Liv, they got pretty decent chemistry together. Felt like we just gonna run it back at SummerSlam. I don't know where this leaves Rhea for SummerSlam because it seems like we're building up to a Jade and Charlotte match, and maybe a Tiffy and Chelsea Green match. So I don't know now with Liv and EO in that big match at SummerSlam. Where's that leave Rhea for opponents?
Uh, is it too early for
Who
JC
do we have?
Jane?
I I guess that leaves. There's no other heels on the brand that I can see.
Blake Monroe,
Alexa
I guess,
Bliss.
but is that too early?
I wouldn't mind that. I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that.
A lot of question marks. It'll probably like Nia Jax. They'll just grab her out of anywhere.
Rhea Ripley stay getting heatless feuds for her big matches.
Yeah. They don't I don't know, man. Like the funny thing is usually the women do have the best match on the card, but it's like nobody in US based wrestling knows how to book women's wrestling. And that's the biggest problem because like most of the year they have the best matches if you ask me. Like I'm not trying to glaze, but like last year the best pay-per-view that we had was like Evolution. And I still feel like multiple times when we go through these pay-per-view recaps, it's the women's match that I enjoy the most. Well, we'll get to that later, but yeah, they just don't have storylines. It's just the cruiserweight division. Y'all just go out there and
Yeah,
have a good match.
just have a good match. It seems like in both companies, you don't get a storyline unless you're the champion.
Yeah.
Like, when's the
Or
last time
if
we
you're
had a
big enough to
non-title?
not
Yeah,
like
what you say?
like Punk, for instance. Punk may have one, but he's like the
Oh
only
yeah.
guy.
No, I mean the women's side is really bad.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
if you
for
don't have a
sure.
title in the women's division, you're not getting a storyline. When's the last time a women's match made a PLE that wasn't a title match, Mike? Can you name that?
Was there one at WrestleMania? No.
Oh,
I mean, I know they have Lyra and
nah,
Bailey right now, but I don't. They haven't had like a pay-per-view match yet.
nah, they have had a PLE. They're gonna have loser leaves town match, judging by the way this weekend went.
Regardless of that, congratulations to Io Sky, your 2026 Queen of the Ring. We move on in a steel cage match: Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
I thought this started out slow, like glacier slow.
Yeah, I don't think it really picked
It
up
picked
until the
up.
last 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say it did pick up towards the end, but yeah, it was snooze fest in the first 10 minutes.
Which
The
is
usual chair, kendo stick, table, trash cans, and yeah, sitting around or farming at the beginning of the match. Remember that? They both sat down in chairs, stared at each other, looked into each other's eyes. Micah, Braun Breaker saw Seth's vision.
I see what
Micah,
you
you
did
die?
there.
Okay, all right. I was waiting for the pop.
No, no, no. I was just, bored to death from Seth Rollins, and now I know I have to suffer through in the main event of SummerSlam. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't know. Like, I thought that it did start slow, and it got more intense as it went on. And again, like for the last 5, I was kind of locked in. But
you
before
know what?
that,
You know
it's
what
the
really,
typical.
what really, what really picked up, like woke the crowd up, Micah, was the superplex from the top of the cage. They busted up Braun. That's what woke the
Yeah.
crowd up, in my opinion.
Well, and not only that, but seeing Braun get color, which I don't. Is he the first person to get color in Saudi? Which it was unintentional, but I mean, color nonetheless.
It's a good question. I don't know.
But yeah, the superplex was a good spot. Braun at the end of it kind of begs for mercy, but Seth hits him with the avalanche curb stomp. There was a spear through a table at one point in time too. Overall, solid, just not anything that blew me away, which is Seth Rollins encapsulated in 2026. I was more just mad that Seth won this. I don't think Seth needed the win. I don't think that like the feud. I don't think the feud lent itself to having Seth come out on top. Braun should have been the one to come out of the Vision better. And instead, like I said earlier with the Oba stuff, we take one step forward, pushing new talent, Braun, Logan, Austin Theory, and then two steps back because if Braun can't beat his mentor, then why am I expected to take him more serious or invest in him more than his mentor? Does that make sense? If Batista had lost to Triple H, then
Yeah.
okay, why do I care about
Yeah.
Batista?
That's exactly what I was going to compare it to. There's nothing that gets over a young talent more than have them lose to their mentor in a feud that's supposed to make them into the next big thing. I don't know. It just made no sense. Felt like Oba snatched Braun's chain, and now I don't know what you do with Braun Breaker next.
Honestly, think you have to throw him back in the mid card, like for the Intercontinental Championship. But even then, I mean,
The Vision did nothing for him.
no, not at all. I don't think it did anything for anybody except for maybe Logan. Because like, is Theory really in a better place now than he was before?
Well, he was teaming with Grayson Waller, so I would say yes, but he's still the designated pin guy.
Yeah.
Like to take all the L's. It's usually Theory taking all the L's in the matches. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but decent match. Terrible outcome, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the Vision, I guess.
I guess. Do you send Braun to
We're having a great
SmackDown?
time here, by the way. Do you send Braun to SmackDown? I don't know, because you got Punk coming in to
Oh yeah,
SmackDown.
boy. See, and here's the thing, right? It was again coming out of this pay per view. I was like, okay, cool. I feel like decent about the way things are going, and then Raw just derailed. I didn't like this in the moment either, but Raw like solidified it when I knew that they were running Roman Seth again. I said, okay, they don't believe in their young talent yet. They don't believe that Braun Breaker can headline a pay per view.
Hasn't he done that with? I don't know. I guess not.
And that's just so
Yeah,
disheartening.
it is. They lost all faith in him with that injury.
Yeah,
But we
Seth
don't know what the
defeats.
Vision could have been. We don't know what the Vision could have been with that injury. The whole group got injured.
Yeah. I mean, they could have been solid just before, even if Seth had gotten injured and it was Braun and Braun's son and Theory Logan, like that still could have been a great group. But it's kind of like, the Brooklyn Nets with Harden and Kyrie and KD. You never knew how good they'd be because you didn't ever get to see them all together.
And now it's too little too late. Damaged goods. So you can't really build anything now, especially with Seth winning the feud.
Yeah. Maybe the only thing is Braun and Bronson whenever he gets healthy, but I mean, Jesus, who goes over? It's the same problem we got with Seth returning.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if next week that Braun would just spear Theory and he would just leave the Vision. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. And then if he leaves, I mean, you might as well just disband the whole group. But we move on to the next match for the WWE United States Championship. Trick Williams with Lil Yachty, full-time roster member, by the way, defeated Ricky Saints in 10 minutes and 43 seconds. Overall, solid match, but both these guys, again, as much as I'm gonna cook Seth, I gotta be honest here. Just a little milk toast in the ring. They're good, like they're not gonna do anything offensive. It's just not gonna do anything to blow you away. I also find it funny Cage Match has this listed as a 4, as if it was bad,
Man,
but that's just their hate boner for Ricky.
it's weird too. But I thought it was a decent match. It didn't need to steal the show. It didn't have to. It did what it was supposed to do. The Ricky hate is very strange to me still. But I think his momentum is picking up recently. Last couple weeks on SmackDown, getting bigger and bigger reactions. Micah maybe didn't get the biggest reaction here in Saudi, but I think they're rooting for him, and he's just as charismatic as Trick. He's just as good in the ring as Trick, maybe even better. So give him some time. It's cooking with Ricky. I still got faith in him, and yeah, it was a pretty decent match.
Yeah. It was just here. And, people
Yeah, it
get
was there.
mad. Oh my God, how could they put something like this on pay-per-view? This is like a SmackDown match. But then when they do 5-match pay-per-views, you're mad because they have 5-match pay-per-views. So what do you want? Following that, for the WWE Women's United States Championship, we had Tiffany Stratton defeating Jade Cargill in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. This I'm sorry, this was just not good. I think Jade
It
is
was there.
good, but Tiffany is just not good. I'm sorry. I've seen it. I've seen what she can do. We put her in there with the best women's wrestler of all time, Charlotte. They stunk the bed up, and I since then have not seen anything from Tiffany Stratton, promo wise, character wise, in the ring wise, that ever makes me want to like seek out anything she does. Whereas Jade, we've talked about her this year. She's currently my like most underrated wrestler because I think she's actually learning a lot and getting better. And then they stick her in there with Tiffany Stratton. So what can you do?
You know what? I can see the Chelsea Tiffy partnership thing getting over. I can see that, and maybe it'll lead to an interesting feud, Micah. I think this is the most challengers the U.S. title, like viable challengers the U.S. title's ever had during its existence. Because when it was in that Julia vortex, it was not a lot of challengers. Kiana James was floating around there, but now you got Charlotte, you got Tiffy's a champ, Chelsea, Jade, a lot of viable contenders out there. But yeah, this match was a nothing burger, a lot of interference, but it
Yeah.
did what it was supposed to do. It furthered the Jade Charlotte tension, and we'll get something at SummerSlam.
Yeah. And that's really what it was here for. It was just a kind of a filler match to build or really just have a lot of branches coming out of it going into SummerSlam. But
Yeah.
it's main event time. The
Oh,
undisputed WWE Championship triple threat match. Sami Zayn defeats Cody Rhodes and Gunther 18 minutes and 38 seconds. Not expecting this. However, we were talking about it before. Kind of expected maybe Gunther to take it off of him. But Sammy, with everything that's happened to Sammy in the past couple months, that was a total shock to me. However, Ryan, and this is the last thing I'll say, I'll pass it to you because I'm sure you got a little more in-depth notes. Uh, I thought that this was great from a match standpoint because it was what everything that a triple threat match should be. It was a sprint. There was never a moment where somebody was just dominating for like 5 minutes at a time. It was 3 guys scratching, clawing, either to win the biggest prize or hold on to the biggest prize. And for that, I thought this was a great main event.
yeah, really good three-way sprint, like you said, and it's crazy because Sammy was banned from attending all these shows when they first started this partnership with Saudi Arabia, and he got the biggest reaction of the night, winning the biggest prize in the industry at one of these shows. So it's incredible the turnaround that Sami Zayn had in Saudi Arabia the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. And not only that, the turnaround he's had just in
General
WWE. Yeah,
and his
because I
career.
mean,
It's the first world championship he's ever won.
oh wow. Like out of any promotion?
Do you count NXT as a world champion?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that's true.
Do you count that though? I don't think you count
I don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
that. Like, do we say that Seth Rollins is a 8-time world champion because of his NXT title? I don't. Do we count Drew McIntyre's FCW world title? I don't. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Can you? Can you count PWG champion?
Uh,
Is that a world title?
who they ever beat over there?
But in all seriousness, um, by far to me the best match of the night. And the last 5 minutes was kind of the go home stretch that really pushed this match over the edge to me because there was so many moving parts. Cody, hit the double crossroads. It looked a little goofy, but Sammy had hit Gunther with his finisher, but then Gunther pulls the ref out, and then Gunther's doing everything he can to win, but then that pin gets interrupted by Cody getting his get back. Like the whole 5 minutes, it felt like a sprint for 18, but the last five was like the last gasp, and not in a last gasp that we're gonna talk about later, but in a good way to me,
Oh
where it
man.
just felt like anything could have been the end of the match.
And you were so sure that Cody was going to retain too. Like that was the smart money. And there's no way Sami Zayn. Oh, look at that guy. You think he's going to win the world title going into SummerSlam? Get out of here. Do you subscribe to the notion that Sammy's going to drop it before SummerSlam?
I don't think so. I mean, we only have a
You
month.
don't think so? Did you see the spoilers for SmackDown?
I saw a I don't know how to a clip of it, like not a video, but like something somebody had
Okay.
posted, but I'm not
Okay. We're
exactly sure what it said.
okay. Well, spoilers for anybody that doesn't want to hear what happened on SmackDown. They taped the show. It's a tape show. Okay, give you some time. Fast forward 2 minutes.
Yeah, skip 30
But
seconds.
Sammy and Cody are gonna be having a world title rematch next SmackDown. Not this one coming up, but the one after that. I think that's the one in Chicago, maybe, which lends you to believe that Mr. Phil Brooks is on his way back, Mike. I don't know. That's what the streets been telling me. I got the sources from my man Phil, and supposedly he's on his way back, and that's the feud going into SummerSlam. Supposedly,
Is Cody Punk?
yeah, Cody Punk.
I don't hate it. I like those two guys can play off of each other well. My
They
issue
don't need
is
the title.
more, yeah, gonna be that they don't need the title, and Cody definitely doesn't need the title.
No, he needs to stay away from the title for a little while. This feud needs to turn him heel
Yeah,
if he
I
has that
mean,
feud with CM Punk.
I'd be cool with Punk turning heel as well, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Cody makes more sense because it's stale and it's been stale, and that's why everybody rejoiced when Sammy won it because it was something different. And I feel like once again, you're gonna do your step forward with two steps back if you put that belt right back on Cody because SmackDown has been so dull with him on top.
So, okay, let's put on your fantasy booker hat, Micah, real quick. We saw the crash out with Gunther and Nick Aldis after this match. So let's keep that in mind. What do you got going into SummerSlam with these three guys? What do you got?
Featuring three guys.
Yeah, Gunther, Cody, and Sammy. Who's their opponents going into SummerSlam?
Maybe ugh, I don't know. I
And
could
see,
see
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe a tag match. Sammy and Aldis versus Gunther,
Oh wow.
and you'll have to find a partner there, but I'm not sure.
You think Sammy's not going to defend the title at SummerSlam?
Oh, well, I thought we were going off the basis that Cody wins it back.
Okay, so this is just your fantasy booking. If you got the pin, Micah, who's Cody's opponent? Who's Sammy's opponent? Who's Gunther's opponent going to SummerSlam?
Well, is this off the who's WWE champion, or is it up to me?
This is your booking, pal. You tell me.
Okay. Well, Sammy's going to take it into SummerSlam. I don't think that he's the main event, though. Respectfully, I still
Yeah.
think you run Punk and Cody as the main event. It just doesn't need a title. They're two big names. Then you have Sammy and Gunther, I suppose, with Gunther trying to, I guess, avenge the WrestleMania loss from a couple years ago. But I don't know. You have to involve Aldis in some type of fashion. But I guess that would be the way I go. Or the other option, if you do put the belt on Cody, then you do Cody Punk for the title. And like I said, Sammy and Aldis versus Gunther and I don't know. You'll have to find another partner. You
Yeah,
can
who's
stick
the
Drew in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. He works there.
Yeah. If he's back from
Okay.
Hollywood. But what about you, Ryan? Do you have any ideas brainstormed?
I can see Gunther and Aldis as a match. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think you have to have. I think you have to put the title back on Cody to make the CM Punk match work. Because if
Really?
this is gonna be the main event, I kind of want the WWE title involved.
I don't think it has to
Or
have a
maybe
title
we
to be the
just
main event.
maybe Sammy. Is Sammy babyface still? I think he's kind
I
of
don't
heel.
know.
Is he not? The
Yeah.
last good guy. Isn't that kind of a heel thing? Like a delusional heel trying to be
What
babyface?
what about him and Trick?
Is KO healthy?
Oh, now that could main event
Is he healthy?
SummerSlam.
Is he healthy? And that's a big question mark.
I don't think so. But if he
If he's
was,
healthy, that's it right there. Sammy and
yeah.
KO, that's your match. WWE title.
I mean, what if you ran non-title Cody Punk and ran Trick versus Sammy, either title versus title or just like for the WWE Championship, and like maybe Trick gives up the US.
That'd be a weird dynamic because Trick is kind of he's heel, but the fans treat him as babyface. And Sammy has been he's kind of babyface, but
The
leaning a
fans
little
treat him
heelish.
as a
I don't. That'd
heel.
be yeah. That's very that'd be a very odd booking situation to be in. I wouldn't want to do that. But a lot of options. We're gonna be guessing going into SummerSlam, which is what I like to see. I don't like
Yeah.
that. I don't like when it's the predictable route. But yeah, overall, Micah, what are you giving Night of Champions 2026? 1 out of 10.
Um, man, I don't know. If you had asked me the day of, I feel like it'd be a little higher. But with knowing some things that I know now,
Kind of takes points away.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go like a 5.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Because some of these matches were nothing burgers, like I said, and the fact that we seen Raw and seen where they were going, and now we got the Seth Rollins stank all over the main event scene again. Very down on that for the Raw side. So yeah, 5.2, maybe high 4 for me. But yeah, not a long show, so it didn't overstay its welcome, but very
Yeah.
mid show. If you missed anything, go back and watch that 3-way match with Sammy, Cody, and Gunther. Go back and watch that.
Yeah. That would be my match of the night, as I assumed it would be yours.
Yeah, great stuff, great match, great moment. Crowd was electric for Sami Zayn win, and The underdog finally got his moment in the main event, WWE champion. First NXT champion to win the WWE champion, by the way.
Yeah. Or wait, hold on. Not first NXT champion, but first solely NXT wrestler. Never
Okay.
FCW or OVW.
Okay. Because I think Drew would be the first NXT champion, be WWE champion.
Well, no, it'd be Seth, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Yeah. How could I forget about Mr. Freaking?
Yeah. All over the. You forgot his stank, just like that. What? Is there some stank behind the forbidden door, Ryan? It's time to talk about it.
Oh,
AEW
my.
had a marathon this weekend on Sunday. Forbidden
Let's go ahead.
Door.
Let's go ahead and close that door permanently.
Yeah. I'm good on the Forbidden Door concept. For a lack of better terms, AEW has just pillaged New Japan and CMLL and anybody else they can get their hands on. So there's no real reason to run this every year because half these matches, maybe not half, might have been half, didn't even involve anybody from another promotion. So yeah, you
They
kind of
only had
lose me in that regard.
they on- well, they only had like 3 crossover matches, right?
Oh yeah, you might be right.
They had the Stardom and AEW match, Tekla and Starlight Kid, and they had the Shooter Umino versus Pac,
Yeah.
and you had Omega versus uh blonde jabroni, skinny. What's his name?
Zack
Come
Sabre
on, man.
Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. There you go. 3.
And well, then you had
Oh
the
no,
Young Bucks.
the tag match, yeah, the Young
Yeah.
Bucks party match. Had that.
Hmm. And that's where we'll start, actually. The Young Bucks versus L Sky Team versus Unbound Company. And I'm just going to rifle through some of this, Ryan. If you feel a need to interrupt me, just let
No,
me know. No?
no,
Okay.
no. This went 30 minutes. No,
Nah,
Bucks
this one
won.
wasn't that long.
This one went 28 minutes, bro.
Are you talking about from
What?
entrances?
Look at the match time. You're on Cage Match. Look that up.
It's just 17 minutes.
That went 17 minutes. I could have swore that went 30, bro.
No, it was only
Felt
17.
like
But
30.
I
Yeah,
mean,
only
that's
17.
I'm about to say that's short for this card, but still,
Okay.
I think it's longer than every match except for the main event at Night of Champions. But yeah, I'm just gonna rifle through some points that I had here. I thought Mystico got a pretty solid reaction coming out, which they are in California, so there's some crossover audience there. I was happy to see that. Now, I I gotta say, Walker Stewart from New Japan. This is like when have you ever is it salt and pepper? When you like put pepper in like a little like a small amount of water or whatever, and then you like put salt in there and all the pepper runs to the edge.
I ain't never heard of that. No, I don't know
Okay,
about that.
it's something I've seen on TikTok. Basically,
Okay.
this Walker Stewart was the chlorine tablet in your pool. Just immediately classed up the joint, and I could not believe how much worse he made Excalibur sound because he sounded so much more official than Excalibur. I thought he was a great addition, and if there's somebody they need to steal from New Japan, that's who I'd be stealing.
Yeah, it's crazy that they can admit when they outgrow wrestlers. Like they let go of, Joey Janela, and they let go of guys that you really didn't see much in. They let the contracts run out. They get better guys. But they still got the same commentary team since day one, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Insane when there's so much talent out there. They have the best play by play in the game, but they bury them on ROH.
yeah, and they have Nigel, who's probably the best color guy in wrestling, and
Yeah.
they just I mean, again, they put him on Collision, but I think he's great on the pay-per-views.
Yeah, he is.
Overall, for the match, I thought it started solid, but we got to get our contrived flips in. I don't know if you caught this. Did you see Mascara Dorada almost kill himself running on the apron, trying to jump up and Hurricane Rana? I think it was Teton
Yeah.
onto the group of catchers on the ground.
Yeah, the catchers. Okay.
The
Yeah, there was a
catchers,
lot of that in this match. It was a lot of scooting and sliding to get in the right spot. And yeah, it was a typical Young Bucks match. They love to do this type of stuff. They are building to, I would think, the Cope and Cage tag match at Wembley. Maybe FTR will be involved. Is there any chance, Micah, that New Day will be involved in that for All In?
I mean, I feel like you have to, right? Like, that's your
The
big
late,
show.
the earliest they can be seen because they got released is late July. So that'd be right around maybe a couple weeks before All In. Enough time to build something.
Yeah. If it didn't take 30 years, which hey, I guess it don't matter, but
It,
a tag team turmoil could be fun.
what do you did? I know we're flipping around here a lot, but what much to jive to in this first match here? What do you think about WWE running two shows on the same day as All In? Did you see that?
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, so they're running a NXT show at the same time as All In, and I believe they're running a AAA show that same day as well.
I mean, it don't surprise me, but I think it's a little ridiculous.
That they're putting it on that weekend. Well, bro, there's only so many weekends they can book it, and the week after, like the week after All In, is when college football season starts.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of
So
those
what do you
things.
do?
Like, I just feel like if they're gonna counter program it, at least counter program it with like your main card. But they always like throw NXT out there to do their bidding. And I saw NXT did not draw a great rating for Great American Bash this past weekend.
Well,
So
hold up now.
respectfully, I don't think it's
Well,
working.
well, hold up now. I got to push back on that. I did see that rating, but they aired it on ESPN as well, the show. So if we're not counting the max numbers, Dynamite was this. Well, what, are we not going to say the same thing for the NXT show? So we're
Well,
not going
I
to
guess
count the ESPN numbers and it aired live on Netflix overseas. So we're not going to count that.
and I guess you got a point, but
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It just feels. I mean, I guess it is what they see AEW as if they're counter programming them with their developmental, but I'm not
They're getting the
surprised.
same ratings. They're getting the same ratings as Dynamite now. NXT.
Well, but you're not including the max numbers, right?
Oh, gotta include the max numbers. Yeah,
Had to
I
flip your own
don't.
logic.
AEW counter programs TNA pay per views all the time, and I don't see the pushback online for that. So when WWE does it, let's go, man. Game on. Okay, you want to be considered a challenger brand? Well, this is how. Come challenge me. Let's see what you can
Yeah,
do.
I mean, that is true. Like it or not, it is somewhat of a compliment that they feel so strongly enough about you that they try and counter program you. As
But
crappy as that is to say.
they feel like that's a slap in the face, Micah. Like the fans, I don't. They're talking out of both sides of their mouth because they want to be competitors at WWE, but when it's time to compete, they are all, "Oh man, we're just a lowly company. They're just trying to put us out of business." Like, come on now. You want to hang with the big dogs? You gotta. You think Jim Crockett Promotions was offended that WWE used to run their towns in the same day? Well, yeah, but they didn't go out there and make excuses about it.
Yeah. I mean, you got a point. I think it is scummy business practices, but it's part
It's
of
bad
it.
for
And
you know what's bad for? It's bad for us because we got to see all that. we gotta review it.
like this, what was
Yeah,
this? 10 hours of wrestling in one weekend?
yeah. Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and this. Yeah,
Oh, that
from
wasn't even including those. I'm talking about just Saturday and Sunday.
oh well, yeah. There you go. Like 16
But
hours of wrestling.
jeez, half of a full-time job almost. But getting back to the match, I don't know if you caught this, Ryan, but you know me, I gotta track stuff like this. So at one point, Teton pinned.
Teton. It's such a silly name.
Oh, that's how they pronounce it. That he
yeah, I
pinned
know. Yeah.
a guy. I didn't exactly list
Hey,
who he pinned.
you pinned that guy. Okay.
Pinned that guy. Then
Yeah.
realized that him himself, Teton, was not legal. So he went out of the ring and tagged himself in, even though he had just pinned a guy. So they don't know what's going on. And then to further that, Mystico pinned Shingo Takagi, who was not the legal man, because Teton had tagged in. And then later, Takagi tags in Teton, even though Teton is already the legal man. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that these guys, nor the referee, knew who the legal man was in the match. And I know that none of
I
this
don't think they
technically
care.
I don't think they do either. And I know that it technically didn't involve the Bucks specifically, but they were in this match. And that right there is why I cannot stand this style and their style of tag matches, because this is how it is. The rules, the countouts, they don't matter. You're just here to
Uh,
see the cool moves. And
and you saw they had their referee too.
oh, of course. So yeah, that just made me laugh. Because not only that, but then the final pin had both
Hey
Buckaroos
yo,
pinning a guy.
on they like sat on bro's face, man. Both of
Yeah.
them.
And one of them shouldn't
Like
be allowed in the ring, technically, but whatever. Thank God it's over. I was not a fan of the opener, but if you like the Young Bucks stuff, this is for you. I just personally am not a fan.
just the Bucks sitting on who they pinned Teton.
I
The
think it
Bucks sitting
was,
on Teton's face. It's just encapsulates the New Japan partnership of
yeah,
AEW.
and it only gets better. Following that, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega. This match went
Oh my
26
god,
minutes and 25 seconds.
my god.
What
Did
is it,
this
Ryan?
need to go 30 minutes?
No, not at all. I admittedly, I don't think Zack Sabre Jr.'s style is for me. I think if you love like Bret Hart, then you probably love Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, come on now. Stop it. No, bro, Zack Sabre Jr. couldn't lace Brett's boots. Get out of here.
I
What?
just mean that
Don't ever
style.
disrespect Brett ever again. That style. No, if you like World of Sport in like 1980s, yeah, maybe you like Zack Sabre Jr. But don't ever compare Zack Sabre Jr. to Bret Hitman Hart, man. That's blasphemous.
I'm just not a fan of the super technical style. I've never been able to get into Zack Sabre Jr. for that reason. I feel like I can again with Brett, to me it was always the same way. I have appreciation for Brett and what he was able to do. And like now that I watch it, it's like, oh, okay, I can see why Brett was, the best there ever was, the best there ever will be. But it's just not exactly what I like to see. And for most of this match, I thought it was slow throughout. Uh Again, I expected this with Zack Sabre Jr. I thought the last 5 minutes was really good. Especially whenever he reversed the one winged angel into a triangle choke. I thought that was a nice spot. But overall, I mean, Kenny picked up the win, but just nothing blew me away.
No. Bro, you know what? If it was for the world title, maybe I can stomach 30 minutes. If this was a dream match that we never saw, okay, maybe. But these guys faced each other 3 times already. Like they told us on commentary that they faced each other 3 times. And Zack Sabre Jr. has never beaten Kenny Omega. This is the first time they faced off in 8 years. And we didn't need to see 30 minutes of this. Kenny is slower. Zack Sabre Jr. style. Like the world of sports stuff. Like if you like that, then sure, Zack Sabre Jr. is for you. I thought he had a good match with Daniel Bryan a couple years ago, but
Yeah.
I didn't like this. I was very bored. I was bored.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. It just
was boring.
yeah, it just felt there to me. And
Yeah. It was 30
again,
minutes.
yeah, the best thing I can say, like legitimately, like when I say if you like the Buck stuff, then this is for you, and it's just not for me. I don't mean it derogatory, but at the same time, it's kind of like I am kind of like I don't get how you could like this. With Zack Sabre Jr. and Omega, I have appreciated. Or let me hold on. Let me backtrack that. I don't get how you like it, obviously, because I don't like it. But I can at least like I don't. There's not a good way to say this. I don't like. I don't like respect the Young Bucks match. It's like, oh, this was a great match. It's just not for me. Like, no, I just think it was bad. For this, I respect that. Like, this was a good contest between the two, and if you liked it, cool. It's just not my style.
They took it serious in there, but it just was boring, and there was no heat to it. I don't think the fans cared about Zack Sabre Jr. And how could you? He's been on the television like 5 times. He's never had a promo. You've never had a reason to get behind him, and he went out there and had a 30-minute match with Kenny Omega just because.
And I don't think that Zack Sabre Jr. has won since he's been in AEW. I could be wrong.
No, wait a minute. Hold up now. He beat actually. You know what? Because I was curious too, Micah. He beat Orange Cassidy at the first Forbidden Door shows.
Boy,
funny enough, I know. Yeah, I know, right?
Hang your hat on that one and head home.
But let me ask you something before we move on, Micah. Do you think this leads to a MJF Kenny Omega match at the next pay-per-view, Redemption, in Canada?
I could see it. A lot of people seem to be speculating it. I thought they were going to go with Briscoe and MJF, but they're having that on Dynamite this Wednesday. So
I know. Yeah.
I could see it. And then I like that too, because I felt like the MJF Kenny match we had last time was kind of blasé. Maybe it wasn't up to their standard. I thought they could have a better match. And I think that if Kenny and MJF fight this time, there is a legitimate sense of either guy could win. And I love that in a world title match.
You know what? I think Omega does win, actually, if that next match they have.
Because MJF's up 2-0.
Yeah, it's in Canada too.
Yeah.
And the crowd's going to want that to happen. You got the Omega Osprey match at Wembley. That'd be a huge deal. Feel bad for MJF having to drop the title so close to Wembley, but I can see that happening. You know, because I've been hearing rumbles, Micah. Do you think there's any shot? Or you know what? Give me a percentage. What percentage do you think we're going to see MJF versus Mick Foley at Wembley Stadium?
Oh God.
I've seen it, bro. I've seen it discussed online.
I'm gonna go like 5%.
You think so? There's a chance. You're saying there's a chance.
There might be a chance. I'll never say never in wrestling. If you do that, you get burned far too often. But I think it's a very minuscule chance.
That's my wild speculation. I think MJF and Foley at Wembley Stadium. But probably the smart money is Andrade versus MJF. non-title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Omega and old Willie Boy at Wembley is the direction they're going in.
Well, we'll talk about old Willie Boy at large later, but for the AEW Continental Championship, we had John Moxley defeating Bandito 18 minutes and 7 seconds.
Another
Yeah,
boring match.
man. I have actually come around a lot on Bandito. I was not sold on him at the beginning, when they had him in there with Chris Jericho, but how could you when he's in there with Chris Jericho? I actually do really like Bandito now. And I was morbidly intrigued to see what they could do because I thought Moxley had one of his best matches, in my opinion, that I've seen of late with Kyle O'Reilly at Double or Nothing. And here, I thought that it was solid. It wasn't, oh my God, blow you away. But for a 18-minute PLE match for a championship, I thought it was pretty good. Moxley at one point picked his feet up. He was in the corner. He had been Irish whipped. Bandito was charging at him. He picked his feet up rather than just like kicking out of it. And Bandito ran into him at 100 miles an hour. It reminded me of Brett running into the turnbuckle, just an immediate full stop. I thought that was a great spot to kind of like wake me up, in the start of the match. Obviously, got to get some government mandated color because Moxley's in there. But overall, a solid match. I thought it may have hung on a little too long, maybe 3 to 5 over, but it is typical for the AEW shows. I don't think that it needed a pass out as the finish either, but that's just a personal pet peeve.
I thought it was boring. I'm glad you liked it, but I thought it was boring. And people talk about Sammy Hogan, or Sammy Hogan. People talk about Hulk Hogan being, or Mercedes Moné being the Hulk Hogan of her division. Moxley don't put over nobody.
Oh no!
And he was all over this show too, Micah. Like he was on this show 3 times. Did you know that?
What was the other one? I remember the Pac match.
Yeah, the match right after this.
Yeah,
he was all over that. And then he had to show his face at the main event.
And the funny thing is like last year around this time, because it was all about ending the Death Riders, beating the Death Riders, taking the Death Riders out of power. And a year later, they're about to have a guy fight for the world championship, and they had 2 title matches here. So what did Adam Page and the good guys really accomplish other than just taking the belt for a little bit?
I don't know. It's very weird looking back in hindsight, but yeah, I don't know what you saw in this match, but I thought it was pretty boring.
I thought it was all right. I mean, again, nothing crazy, but I thought it was solid. Maybe I just like Bandito. Following that,
Wait a minute. Isn't he the ROH champion still?
yes,
Micah?
yeah.
He is. Okay.
Yeah,
he is.
I had to consult. I
beat.
thought somebody else had won it.
You wouldn't know because he gets beaten. He never brings the title to the ring. I tell you, man, them ROH World Champions, they stay getting beaten AEW.
Well, you know why. But we'll move on for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Shota Umino defeats Pac 18 minutes and 11 seconds. Now, you want to talk about just there? That's the way I felt about this one. The fans were out of it. I just didn't care enough because I'm not too familiar with Shota. And Pac is cannon fodder for the Death Riders. So, yeah, I'm not invested in either of these guys. The match was fine. Like, the fans didn't really get into it.
Yeah,
the action was solid. There was an awesome bomb, which I thought was nice, but
it was crazy. Yeah, That looked pretty cool.
Largely uninteresting. And I knew Shota was going to go over because he just won the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship back. Or not back, but like he just won it like a month ago.
Like them bulked up since last time I seen them. But the lore going into this, Micah, was Moxley was Shota's, I guess, sensei, master. I don't know what they call it over there. The Young Lions thing that they do, Moxley was leading around Shota, I guess. So this is basically Mox's first student versus his lieutenant and Pac. And that's the story they were trying to tell. And then, of course, Moxley had to show his face at the end of the match, give Shota a bow of respect. And then out of nowhere, Tanahashi comes out there. Why did
That
he need
was
to be out
odd.
there? It was very awkward. And he has that weird walk now.
Dude, he's got the thing that like older wrestlers get where it's like their chest, like Iron Sheik had it so bad when he got old. Where it's just like
Yeah.
he enters the room chest first, and it like pains me because I love Tanahashi because he just seems like such a happy guy, but like,
It
yeah,
only seemed like the same guy we saw retire earlier this year.
no, it pains me to see him walk.
Seemed like he done gained 50 pounds, dude, since the last time we seen him. What happened?
Well, hey, let the man
What
be
happened
fat
over
and
there?
happy and retired.
You gotta keep the gimmick up, pal. What are you doing?
The stress of managing New Japan is really getting to a really managing Gato's booking.
Oh man.
You're gonna like Callum Newman or else.
Or we're gonna die trying.
Yeah. But other than that, fine match. It wasn't insulting, just there. One I'm
Yeah.
sure that insulted you, Ryan, for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Oh
Tekla
no.
defeats Starlight Kid in 18 minutes and 42 seconds.
Bro, this was a Stardom humiliation ritual, was it not? Tekla dominated this whole match. And then
Oh,
she
yeah.
cut Starlight Kid's mask, spit in it, rubbed her crotch on it, and then proceeded to beat up the owner of Stardom. And he just sat there and took it.
Made him look like a
Like, what
total
was
punk.
this? Bro, he punked out the whole promote. The story going into here was Tekla was terrorizing the whole promotion. She went over. You know what? I'll give her credit. I don't do this often, Micah. I probably won't do this again. But Tekla's the only one that actually embraced this whole forbidden door concept because she actually did go to Japan and shoot an angle over there. So I'll give her kudos for that. The rest of the crossover on this show matches, none of the guys really committed and went over to Japan to shoot an angle, but she did. So I give her credit for that. But bro, you could not be the whole promotion of Stardom looked like jabronis. None of them came out there to help, and the owner just sat there like nobody tried to help him. The people that were beside him just smiling while he was getting beat up by a little piece of cloth. And I don't know, man. This was very odd.
Yeah. He's in the for keeping PG terms, he was very much in the chair in the corner in the hotel room.
Oh,
I'll just
man.
do with that information what you will.
Oh man.
And not only that, but I saw a post the other day, I think I sent it to you, that somebody said online, I'm not like real in tune with Stardom, so I guess you can fact check this, but somebody said that Tekla used to be considered one of the worst wrestlers over there. And since coming to AEW, she has just been lauded as this all-time lady who just has absolute bangers and she's effortlessly cool and yada yada. But the funny thing is you can go back and see her matches on Cage Match and their ratings. And I'm scrolling right now, Ryan. There's not a there might be a bright spot that is like over a 7. Everything else 4s, 5s, 6s. Like I said, there's a couple 7s in here, and like I had to scroll back to like 2023 to find my first 8. lots of 5s, lots of 6s. But when you get to her AEW stuff, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8.88, 7. Like, yeah, there's a couple 5s and 6s I'm not mentioning in here, but she's just been lauded as this
She has
amazing women's wrestler that has just reinvented the division.
she has not had a good match or a good segment since she's got there. But I feel like I'm getting gaslit online, Micah, because people just keep on singing her praises. And I don't know what I'm missing. But yeah, this as far as the match goes with Starlight Kid, Micah, I don't have anything because I just felt like what disrespect can you how much disrespect can you give one promotion in one match? And it checked all
Yeah.
the boxes.
I didn't think it was a really good showing for Starlight Kid. Now, I thought overall the match was solid. Just like you said, Tekla was in the driver's seat for the majority of it. Slow to start. The last 5 minutes or so, it did pick up and I enjoyed that. There was a couple spots I did want to mention. There was I think when Tekla was both ladies were on the apron and Tekla went for a spear and Starlight just kind of picked her knee up and hit her with it. That was a nice spot. Looked like it was hard hitting. There's also some stuff I didn't like. Like Starlight Kid just got right up after Tekla's finish and then hit another move. I don't remember what the move was now at the top of my head, but she just almost no sold the woman's finish who had been destroying her all match. So if she's not doing that much to you, with her finisher, why is all this other stuff keeping you down for the majority of the match? And then the finish was just the typical AEW stuff that they do, man. They don't go home at the time that they need to. Tekla hit the spear, pinned her, kick out, and then she has to do something else to beat her 10 seconds later. Just beat her with the spear and go home. And then to round it all off, like you said, I just really felt sad for Stardom because I'm not even like a big fan of Stardom, but my God, like this wouldn't make me go check it out because I respect to Starlight Kid for coming over and doing this. I know that's not easy in unfamiliar territory, but I thought that it wasn't her best showing. I imagine she has better showings over in Japan. Then the woman who is the dastardly heel spitting on the company logo and basically telling everybody that Japan sucks and they're nothing but her favorite word, which is the B word. Then she
Yeah,
takes the owner and I mean the guy crumbled in
just
a
bends him
heap.
over. Bend
Yeah.
him over right there.
He
He did
literally
crumble.
he did literally, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't see it, he crumbles in the floor of the like arena in his chair, like in his seat, like where your feet would go. He's laid prone because
No,
Tekla hit him with a mask. She didn't even make physical contact with him. She's slapping him with the mask and he crumples over in fear.
no security. The guys beside him just smiling and laughing. And he's over there looking like he needs a stretcher. Meanwhile, Tekla just standing over his lifeless body. Like it was so ridiculous, man.
It was uncomfortable. Like I felt bad for the guy. I felt bad for anybody that like watches Stardom.
They loved it. Please, like, can I have some more AEW? Like
Please, sir.
they're happy for this, Micah. They went 1 for 4 the whole night. Other promotions went 1 for 4 in the matches against AEW. So this should just let's go ahead and close that forbidden door permanently. We don't
Yeah.
need a forbidden door anymore. If these are the matches we're gonna get and the angles we're gonna get, we're not gonna fully embrace the forbidden door concept, then just don't do the forbidden door idea. Just not have this anymore. We don't all the guys that you wanted are there now.
Yeah.
So just close up shop. We don't want to see Callum Newman. We don't want to see All due respect to Shota Umino, you can go. And Starlight Kid, I like the mask, but you need to go away for a little while to get that stank off you. So yeah, man, that whole match was just very humiliation ritual, like I put it earlier.
Yeah. And do you remember when this started? Do you remember, I want to say it was the first or second for Bendor. They had like a fatal four-way match for the IWGP Championship. Okada, Hangman, Jay White, and who was the fourth guy? There was someone else in there.
Omega, maybe? I don't know.
But anyway, it was like star-studded guys fighting for the IWGP, like the biggest prize in New Japan. And
wasn't it Adam Cole? Might have been Adam Cole.
It might have been Adam Cole. So that's what this pay-per-view used to be. That was the type of stuff that would make you maybe want to seek out New Japan. And now we just have this with Tekla and Starlight Kid, and this does nothing for Stardom. I'm sorry, but it was embarrassing. And if I'm Stardom, there's no way I'm signing up to do that to not only my talent, but my company and my owner. But moving on,
especially when you got that tournament, the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, you couldn't have had one international person in that finals.
Yeah, I mean, well, they had Hazuki in it, but I think she got bounced in the second round. No?
Yeah, we reviewed it.
Yeah, because she fought Mercedes. Yeah. So it was a semifinal, but yeah, just I don't know, just embarrassing. But moving on to the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Dogs versus Cope and Cage. This went 16 minutes and 45 seconds. Cope and Cage picked up the win. Initially, to start this off, why does Clark Connor have a box of matches? Did I miss something? Like, where did he get that from?
It's badass, Micah. It's cool. I don't know. I don't know. It was very. What did they have like a special entrance? Am I misremembering it? Did they have something going on?
I don't think so, unless I just like wasn't paying enough attention to it. All I remember is Christian was in the corner, and then like I see the shillelagh, and then like he just pulls out a box of matches, and I was like, where did that come from? And he lights one, and he burns it on Christian's forehead. But I was just wondering if there was some significance that I just missed, or if you were clueless like I was.
Cope looks old, like 75 years old. I don't know what's happening to him. Is it just me? Or does he look like he's aged 10 years?
And I had a coworker that I didn't even know watched AEW say something about how old he looks now.
Does. Why you let himself go like that?
I don't know. Like, I think it's the kind of like, I feel like it's a little bit of the CM Punk, like, old and let's say old and crazy or something like that.
Middle-aged and crazy.
Middle-aged and crazy. But with Edge, I don't know. Or I'm sorry, Cope.
Yeah,
It just
Cope.
doesn't. I don't know, like, especially when you see him by Christian. And Christian looks a little older, but like for the most part, Christian still looks like Christian. But Cope, like, I don't know, man. And he's starting to move a little bit like Matt Hardy in there. I'm glad they're getting their last little vanity run. I thought the match was fairly routine. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. I like the Dogs.
He's been having a vanity run for his entire comeback.
Yeah,
you're
right.
WWE as well. He's lost like maybe a handful of matches since he came back. He ain't put over nobody since Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
He teamed with Hogan, learned from the best.
There you go. There it is. But can you think of any other time since he's lost to Roman at WrestleMania that he's actually put over somebody in a feud?
Oh, no. No, he killed Finn, Priest.
Black?
Yeah, Aleister Black. FTR. I mean, FTR got a couple wins, but
he won the feud.
Yeah, and that's typically how it goes. He'll lose the first one.
Remember he beat Sheamus? Remember he beat Sheamus in his last match?
Yeah.
Didn't mean put over
So
Sheamus.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as the match went, I knew they were gonna win because they just won the tag titles. But I
Of
enjoyed
course.
it. I like I said, I like the dogs. It was fairly routine, but a solid PLE match that wasn't insulting or anything.
Well,
But
first of all, it's a
Ryan,
pay-per-view match, Micah. Have you know?
oh
And
shoot,
we got the return of the Switchblade, Micah.
my fed brain poisoned me. It's all PLEs
There
now.
you go. Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, the Switchblade back, Micah. Can we get more creative ways to reintroduce guys than just lights out and then they're there? It's either
Yeah,
lights out and they're there or Black Hoodie. Can we get something else?
I agree, but I think it does fit these guys because that's typically how their entrance is made. So
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I pop for it because I like the guns. I like Juice. I honestly just like the whole group. And
I like Ace Austin.
yeah, him too. Them kind of coming back takes me back to a time of AEW that I was just really invested in. And so I pop for it. I like all these guys in the group. And
I'm not.
I like the dogs too. So I'm very interested to see where they go with this.
You know what's gonna happen. They're gonna take this next L to the Switchblade, Jay White, and does David Finley looks a lot like Switchblade? Like, do you see that? They could be brothers.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They look
Like,
almost identical. But
well,
apparently they have history going back to New Japan. I'm pretty sure David Finley kicked out the Switchblade out the Bullet Club when he was leaving. So you're supposed to know that, Micah, because that's what the feud is going to be built on. So you got to be making sure you brush up on your 2021 New Japan lore if you want to enjoy this feud. But yeah, they could have kept Jay White. I didn't miss him. I like the other guys that you mentioned. And yeah, we'll see what happens now that he's back. He being Jay White.
I'm excited to
We're
see
having
it
fun tonight.
nonetheless.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun right now. Can't tell.
I'm having fun. I don't think you
Yeah.
enjoyed any of this. I've enjoyed a couple things, but I especially enjoyed the next match, which was the Owen Hart Foundation 2026 Women's Tournament Final.
Oh,
Mercedes Monet, CEO, defeats Maya World 24 minutes and 51 seconds. I think this might be the longest women's match in AEW history. I could be wrong, but I think it's close. But
wouldn't put it
nonetheless,
past it. Yeah, I think it is.
this was fast paced to start, and I have to applaud Maya because this was just kind of a whirlwind of everything that could go wrong to start the match off. She was having some type of issue with her attire, and then I
Ooh,
believe something happened with her wig as well. Like, as soon as she got the attire like situated, then something happens with the wig. And it just I felt so bad for her. But I will say this. I applaud her for not letting that like get in her head because they had an excellent match. And they made that flow so well that if you weren't really paying attention to that, it wasn't super noticeable. And I honestly think the casual fan probably wouldn't pick up on it. And I thought that was great. I thought that was well done because this was really my first experience with her on the main stage. You know what I mean?
yeah, this was her coming out party, if you will. I don't think. Yeah, I sent you that text of that meme of Shaq saying I would like to apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. Now I want to take the opportunity to apologize to Maya World because I did kind of throw a little shade at her when we were going through the predictions. Never really saw a full length match of hers. And the biggest moment in her career, Micah, the lights were on bright. She showed up. She showed up. She showed out. And this, you know what? This was my favorite match of the night.
Me too.
And they over delivered. Crowd really wasn't there for the beginning half of the match. They woke up, and I think it's a missed opportunity that Maya didn't win this match. But I see the vision. They want Mercedes to be back in that top main event position. But man, you want to talk about striking when the iron's hot? There would have been no other time to make a big star in a big moment than having Maya World pin Mercedes Moné in the finals of the Owen Hart Cup. And I'm afraid, Micah. I'm very afraid because they shot an angle after this match of Athena basically calling out, bad mouthing Maya World, and she had the ROH title still, bro. She's been ROH champion since Barack was in office. And I feel like they're just building up Maya World to take the title off Athena. And we're just never going to see Maya World again.
Yeah.
Which, if that happens, that's a huge missed opportunity.
I can see the thought process with letting Maya win this. I still think Mercedes is the right option. However, I don't think it would have been a bad thing if Maya won. And right now, with no Willow, no Tony Storm, you just got Mercedes back. You need life in your women's division. Maya World needs to be on Dynamite every week, if not every week, every other week. If Mercedes ain't on the show, Maya World needs to be on there because she's an excellent wrestler. She was getting big reactions here. This honestly reminded me, the reaction wise, of Rhea Charlotte at WrestleMania 39 because the fans in that regard were both checked out to start the match. But the match was so good that it becomes undeniable by a certain point. And I think Mercedes is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, but it's not all on her either. And I don't think it's crazy to say that this might be the best women's match in AEW history. So if that's the case, you can't stick Maya World in Ring of Honor and just leave her there to rot like you've done everybody else. Like you've done Athena and Deonna Purrazzo. If you don't put the spotlight on her, then I just don't think you know how to book wrestling.
I'm doubtful that they're going to put her on AEW Dynamite going forward. I'm figuring, I'm very sure that she's going to be a Collision mainstay like she's been, and ROH champion, and people are going to tell you she's doing great stuff on ROH, and we'll never see her. And yeah, it'll just be the same 3 or 4 top girls that they've had at the top of the division for the last 2 years. You'll have Mercedes, Tekla, and maybe if Tony Storm ever gets back, her. But yeah, that's it, Micah.
That's just so sad because Maya's 23 too. They could build the division around her and Willow.
Willow? Why did they take the title off Willow?
Well, she's
if
hurt.
They were just gonna have but she's coming back. Did you see that promo package?
Oh, well, I figured that was just like kicking the can down the road.
No, she's coming back this Wednesday.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
I saw the package, but like I skipped it.
They're having are they not having a TBS title 4-way match?
No, they are.
Is Willow not in that match?
I don't believe so.
Hold up. Let me double check this because I could have swore I saw the graphic. Dynamite preview for Wednesday. But
well,
talk us through this, Mike.
I was about to say, while you're doing that, I can go over a couple specifics of the match. I'm not sure what you call it. Like I've completely blanked on it. But there was a spot during the match where Maya did this like bridging. You know what do they call it when they have them in like the World's Strongest Slam, like that position, and then they like throw them over their head? I know that's a move, and I just can't think of the name of it. But she essentially did that, but while bridging. So kind of like a German suplex, but from that position. She did that like
all-the-way slam.
Fall away slam. Thank you. A bridging fall away slam. I thought that was really nice. I've never seen anything like that. And then she did the last one, throwing Mercedes through the middle rope. That was great because it gives it the extra impact, obviously. And it's very rare to throw something out that, you've never seen before, but that's something I've never seen. I thought there was a great false finish with the first moneymaker when Mercedes hit it. I'm not big on the finisher kickouts. We'll get there later. But one I can allow, and it was the fighting spirit of the young lady not wanting to give up in the biggest fight of her life. And then not only that, but it came out of a great sequence with a backslide reversal. And overall, the last 5 minutes was just the cherry on top of the cake. I don't think that this match hung on too long. I think the fans were into it when they needed to be at the very end. They popped huge, like I said, in the last 5 minutes when they thought Maya may steal it. And even when Mercedes did pick up the win, they were still with it. One of the best ladies matches of the year, maybe potentially the best women's match in AEW history.
Yeah, I agree. It did. It made Maya a star, and we'll see how they capitalize on it. But yeah, going back to earlier, like I was saying, there is a Survivor of the Fittest match for the TBS title. This, I guess tonight, Micah, because we're recording this. But it's a 6-way match, and it's I don't know who that is. Harley Cameron, Sheeta, Persephone, Chris Statlander, and Queen Aminata. But Willow Nightingale is not in this match, but she's slated to return in July. So why not just hold that off?
Oh, yeah.
Why they have to vacate the title?
They're probably just going to run it back then. Whoever wins that will probably face her at All In.
But why even have if? Why did they wait so long to have this match?
I don't think they knew what to do with it. But my thing is like, it don't feel like Willow's been hurt that long. Like, didn't she get hurt in like May? So you couldn't have
It's
just
been like a
like
month.
worked around it or something? I don't know.
Usually they do the what's that? The interim champion. And you have that.
Oh yeah, I think they stopped doing that. It may
Ever
have
since
been when the
Punk,
whole I was
ever
gonna say
since
the whole
Punk walked
Punk
off,
fiasco.
he's still champ, by the way.
Still real AEW champion, by the way. But yeah, that's all I had for that one. We can move on. A
Yeah.
steel cage match. The cage
Oh
was
my.
very interesting. A circular cage named Death's Door. Darby
Yep.
Allin, Konosuke Takeshita, and the conglomeration Team Briscoe defeated the Don Callis family, Andrade El Idolo, Jake Doyle, Kazuchika Okada, Kevin Knight, and Kyle Fletcher, and MJF, otherwise known as Team MJF, in 31 minutes and 45 seconds.
You know
Gotta
what?
go
I
take
did
it
like
back.
that cage. I like that cage. I did like that.
I agree. It's different, and that's always a good thing. Well, I can't say always. For the most part, it's a good thing.
I think that's where my
Where
confidence end during this match.
where to begin?
I think. Uh, do you want to talk about the NES spot? Are we talking about that?
Yeah, so
Or
Kyle
yeah,
O'Reilly pulls out a NES out of his book bag. I think the whole Team Briscoe, or maybe just the conglomeration, brought out book bags of stuff, weapons, and the sort. And Kyle O'Reilly brought out an NES. Now, this is something you texted me while the match was going on, and I was like, what in the world? I gotta admit, though, in the moment, I didn't hate it. I
boy, this was a man. You know what? This made me realize that the wrestling audience, the demographic, the age demographic is like 20 years ahead of me. Because the people they got a kick out of this are the people that are 50 years old, Micah. Like my dad had a NES.
well, I mean, you're probably right, but when he was swinging that controller around, I know that junk hurt.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hurt, but why is that a weapon of choice?
Well, it's a conglomeration. They're funny. They're
Oh, they're
goofball.
haha.
It was
A lot
better
of
than
a
the
lot of haha.
oranges.
A lot of haha in this match, by the way.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I wrote. I can at least get with the haha funny and excuse it with the game console. And like
Why
it
couldn't you
did. I
bring out
think
the
it.
PS5?
Oh,
Can you
have
be
you
a
seen
little
the price
current?
of them?
Well, man, I bet it's cheaper than a NES. What? Where the
I
hell are
don't
you gonna
know.
find an NES?
I don't know. I bet it would be more expensive.
You go to Sadie's Flea Market down here, get one, Micah. Shout out
Hold
them.
on. Shout
They
out.
sponsoring us. Are they sponsoring us?
I think they just closed down.
Okay. I'm surprised Nintendo didn't send a cease and desist letter because they don't play about their stuff.
Oh, yeah,
You
you're
liable to
actually
get a flag.
right.
If you play one of their games on YouTube, you liable to get a flag.
Did
They
you
don't
see
play
they
about their
sent a
stuff.
cease and desist to Cody for the Triforce logo?
I didn't know. That's funny though.
Yes. Now it was like polite. They were like, "Hey, we appreciate that you're such a fan, but this technically isn't yours." But they don't play over there, man.
Bro, look at their
Uh
games. They're still full price.
oh yeah, the Mario games they ain't going on sale. We don't
Uh-uh.
believe in sales.
No,
Not in
no, sir.
Nintendo.
$80. Raise the prices.
But another spot that I thought probably could have been thought out a little better. Darby was tossed face first
Oh,
into Tax, smacked his face on the mat, and immediately you could see the "oh, I'm selling this" face turn into a "oh God" face because I think he got one of the tacks in his eye, and you had to think that through just a little bit better, man.
did he just get married too?
Yeah,
Thought taking thumbtacks in his crotchal area was the best move.
it's just I don't know, man. There's a couple things in life I don't play with. One of those is my eyes. And I'm sorry, like I ain't gonna lie, if I was a wrestler, I'd take a back bump in the thumbtacks. I'm not going face first though. I'm
Would you
sorry.
would you let your mom throw you through some thumbtacks on your wedding day?
Nah,
Would you let
not on
that
my
happen?
wedding day. In the
Oh, okay.
ring, maybe.
All right. No, we on the dance floor.
Oh no. I was gonna say maybe if it's like
Uh,
Mother Wayne.
oh, where's she been?
I don't know. Ring of Honor. But
You gotta watch Ring of Honor for see Mother Wayne.
oh now you're intrigued, huh?
Nah, I'm not. I wouldn't. I don't think there's any. If The Rock showed up in Ring of Honor, I don't think I would watch.
Oh, come on.
I'm being serious.
The Rock? Yeah, nah, I think you'd be there.
Yeah, I probably would.
But honestly, I kind of knew what to expect going into this match, so I don't think anything like truly insulted me other than the oranges. I thought that was
Well,
stupid.
what'd you feel about the gimmick of the year, Leo Rush coming out underneath the ring, outside in a
Hey
bag?
man,
He popped for that.
I'm just gonna say this. It's
Okay.
not for me,
Yeah.
but he got a pop when he came out, and it got him on the pay-per-view card. So
Get
at
his
some
money.
point I have to applaud it, and yeah, like brother, you get a check. I'm happy for you.
Uh, little boogeyman underneath the ring. And then I don't care what the sickos tell you, Micah. This is not good. And him being Leo going after MJF's diamond ring, I thought that was silly.
It's like
Just
Gollum.
oh yeah, ha ha, Jesus like God. Yeah, I don't. This is bro. Do you know what this is? This is a direct shot at Danhausen. You know what this is.
You think so?
I know so. This is their Danhausen. This is it. He's always in the comedy segments. He's being used as like a backstage gag. This is their Danhausen. This is their direct answer to Danhausen. And the sickos want to tell you, well, he's better than Danhausen because he can actually go. Like, I'm sorry, he's 5'2". I'm not buying him in any competitive match. I'm just not.
Well, I think
You're a fan. You
I'm
love him.
not. No, I'm not a
No, you loved it.
fan.
You were sad when they stuffed him back in the bag and tried to chain him up, but then they couldn't get the chain on, so they just threw him back under there. And then magically the chain's on when they take the bag up the entrance ramp. The chain is suddenly locked. You liked that. You were sad that happened, huh?
I thought that again. I'm happy for Leo Rush. I don't need him to be like involved in the main event scene really, but they like to put him in these type matches. Again, I think I've just relegated.
What if he joined the Hurt Business?
I personally am more of a fan of Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. Like that's the type of stuff that I want to see. That's real, that's rooted in realism. It's a contest between two people searching for position on the card, bettering themselves, more money, main event status, championships, And
You
this
don't
type
like a guy.
stuff,
You don't like a guy getting on all fours and crawling around,
yeah,
saying
it's
his
just
catchphrase. You don't like that.
it's not for me. And it's the same with the conglomeration. Like, and it's funny because Kyle and Mark and Roderick like can all be legit. I do like Mark Briscoe, but Kyle and Roderick Strong can be like legit shooters that you believe in the ring. And then they're just
Not no more.
involved in the haha with Cassidy. And I just don't like that. So it's much
That's
like
what they like. That's what they like doing.
I'm glad they're having fun. It's like the anarchy in the arena. Like I knew what it was gonna be. Like I knew how this was gonna be just all over the place. So I can't even like really critique it. Like it's just there and it is
Look,
what it is.
it was like what was the one they did last pay per view? It wasn't Anarchy, was it? It
Yeah, it
was
was.
nah. That was
Oh, Stadium Stampede, but it's
Stadium
basically the same
Stampede. There
thing.
you go. Yeah, very similar. They had a comedy segment with Leo in that one too. But
Yeah.
yeah, did you see the spot where Kevin Knight, the guy that ended the pay per view on a hot angle, the last show, he was kind of toying with
Exploded.
Darby, and then yeah, he was toying with Darby, and so Darby chases him around like I'm supposed to be scared of this 5'5" dude. But Kevin Knight climbs the cage, and then he maneuvers over there to the center of the cage where a booby trap was laid, apparently. I don't know if I missed this, Micah. I don't know when this happened, but apparently a booby trap was set for Kevin Knight. And something exploded in his face, pause, and then he went through two tables when four were set up. And yeah, that's how they're treating their supposed next pillar of the company. Kevin Knight, just gets sent through tables. It's fine. That's what Leo says. It's fine.
Is that your new mantra for
There
the
you go.
AEW shows? It's
Yeah, it's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. Did you think it was crazy that the fans were chanting for Andrade to take his pants off? Did you hear that?
Well, it's his thing.
Look at his legs.
Yeah.
Can you blame
Yeah,
him?
man. You go to the gym, you gotta show it off. He took his shirt off later.
He
Got to see
did.
that.
He
I
did a
was,
heel turn.
you know what? I guess it'd be babyface turn, but I was
Yeah.
thinking like, why is he in a 3-piece suit in there? I'm sure he's sweating his balls off in there. And then he took he being Andrade towards the end of the match, took off the dress shirt and took off another shirt, and it revealed to say F Don Callis and F MJF all on one shirt. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that's a T-shirt being made right now, being sold on AEW Shop. But yeah, Andrade turns babyface, lays out MJF. Don Callis is beside himself, and then we knew what was going to happen, Micah. Your favorite, Jake Doyle, somehow gets involved towards the end here. And he takes the pin, and Team Briscoe wins. And Team Briscoe says in the aftermath of this match, and very bad audio issues, that Mark Briscoe was going to be challenging for the world title on Wednesday. He was not going to wait any longer. So, yeah. Winner Death's Door, Team Briscoe, and Briscoe is setting up a match against MJF at the pay-per-view. At pay-per-view. At Dynamite, which is tonight. So we'll see what happens there.
But it's main event time, Ryan. Oh boy, this is a can of worms. Owen Hart Foundation 2026 Men's Tournament Final Match. Willie Boy Will Ospreay defeats Swerve Strickland 35 minutes and 6 seconds. Where to begin? Initially, they ran a package here for Ospreay with the Death Riders. Seeing this stuff on a promo doesn't make it look any cooler or better. This storyline is so redundantly stupid. I've said my piece about it, but it just doesn't make sense for a guy to be hanging out with guys that broke his neck less than a year ago. So, I can't even explain that one. But Ryan,
Well, yeah.
If there was nothing else to expect, we started this match. You knew we were going to get some choreographed dodging to start off, right? Just to let everybody know that it looks cool.
You know what? Ospreay is still fast. He's very fast. He's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still very explosive. Swerve is completely slow at this point. And I'm not talking about like mentally. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I mean, he's just a step slower in the ring. So it just doesn't look good when he does stuff like this. He's put on a lot of weight. No disrespect, but I don't know if the regime that he's on, the regimen, is doing any favors for his mobility. But yeah, it was a lot of that in this match.
I don't know. I think Swerve bulked, but I don't know if it was like a clean bulk or if it's just like roid belly.
He don't have the frame for it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have the frame to put on that much muscle. And they're just
Well, not
like
only that,
roid belly.
but it's like Kyle Fletcher. Like Fletcher still wrestles like he's the size he used to be, and it just doesn't fit because, like, dude, you're a big guy. Do powerhouse moves. Why is Swerve trying to flip with Will? Like Will lost weight. It looks like to me since he came back, and so it makes sense. But Swerve, like, I don't know. I think he put on the weight because he wanted to be taken seriously as a top guy, and now it just. I didn't think that would pop you that much.
The most dangerous guy just can't win a match. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know. I expected what this match was going to be going in, though, and Swerve is still trying to do what he used to could.
And he cannot.
Swerve hit a powerbomb on the apron that basically was right on Ospreay's neck. I thought that was a rough spot, but it looked well. And admittedly, through the first 15 to 20, I'd even say 25 minutes, I thought this match was pretty well done, excluding the original dodging stuff.
Let me pause you right there, Micah. I watched this live. I did not take no breaks. I watched this whole show, beginning to end. The bell rang for this match at and see, we're Central Time Zone here. So bell rung for this match at 11:15. So I can tell the fans were burnt out and I was burnt out. And maybe it's me, but the fans were not making any noise throughout this whole like first 15 minutes.
Oh no. Because also they had the cage match right before this. And then they had the Monet match right before it too. So like they got up really big at the end of the Monet match, and then they're gonna get up for the cage because it's a cage match. And by the time this rolled around, man, they were dead until the last 10. And we'll get to the last 10. But one thing that bothers me now by the way they do Swerve is they book him like Brock or like Obafemi. Like you remember when he did the no sell on the Busaiku knee, and I could kind of get behind it because it was at Wembley and it was a big moment, and it meant whatever. But brother, he just no sold Osprey's hidden blade. And like the announcers tried to play it off as, and I'm not talking about. Well, we'll get to
which
some
time
no
to talk
selling.
about?
Yeah, we'll
which
get to
time
some
you
no
talk?
selling.
I think no so like 3 hidden blades.
But there was one specifically where Osprey hit him with the hidden blade. He literally just stood there and then basically gave him one right back, or it was like a back elbow or something. Like he didn't even budge when Osprey hit him. And the announcer's like, "Well, Osprey didn't like fully charge it up, but like I
Fully charge it up. Okay.
like Swerve isn't Oba or Brock or Braun Strowman like or Bobby Lashley. You know what I mean? Like
He's a
he's
big guy in their division.
yeah, but not like to that regard. Not to just like not be moved. He's not Kane. Like
Well, he's got the red lighting effect on his entrance now, Micah. So he
oh,
basically is
okay.
Kane. Yeah.
Came out on the bike like Taker. Let's see what we're
There you
doing
go.
here. Gimmick
Yeah.
infringement.
Had a cigar.
A couple quick hitters, real quick. Swerve eventually was slammed into the corner of the steps by Osprey. That was a rough spot, but it busted Swerve open. He was bleeding absolute buckets. So I thought it was a good way to get there, to get Swerve some color. Osprey had already been beaten up earlier. He got kind of tied up in the turnbuckle that Swerve had pulled the protection off of. But at this point, they had been on the outside forever, and nothing ever happened until at the end of all their crap, then the ref goes in there and starts counting after they've already been on the floor for about 5 minutes. And it just aggravates me because they're like, the announcers try to justify it by saying, well, they just really want a winner. Okay. So does that just mean the rules don't apply at all?
Is that out of all the things that happened in this match, it's probably the least like egregious thing that I saw. So I that wasn't the part where I just wanted to say, do I really need this podcast? Do I really need to review this show?
Hmm.
Like we'll get to that towards the end of the match, but
Oh,
yeah, I can
yeah.
see what you mean. I can see what you mean.
Well, here we go, right, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, 20 to 25 minutes through this, I actually enjoyed this match. They surprised me because I was like, now I typically know what an Osprey match is, and I figured when him and Swerve get in here, they've done this before. It's very for lack of better terms, it's a lot of self-fellatio, but this is where it gets insane. We get a house call, 1 count. They both stand up. Osprey hits Swerve with the 3rd hidden blade of the match. 1 count. And this is where the fans finally come alive because
Hold up. This pause. Swerve is bleeding buckets at this point too. By the way.
oh yeah, and Osprey's already at the point that he's bled so much before that his face is permanently stained red throughout the rest of the match. And we're like 25 to 30 minutes in. So then they clothesline each other and lay out. The fans slop it up. It's like when you ever seen somebody like take a piece of bread after like the meal and they just take the bread and like sop up all the like I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
like
that's not like
this
gravy.
yeah, like that's what they were
Yeah.
doing with this. When they see the moves that they're just sopping it up. And I couldn't believe my eyes because I was like, dude, there's no way that they just did dueling 1 counts. And this isn't even the finish. Because I was like, okay, certainly we're going to the finish now. Oh no.
No sir.
Oh no.
No sir.
I have wrote this about 4 different times in the same notepad because I couldn't. I wrote it when I was watching it. Then I had to go back and analyze it again, and then I had to analyze the last 5 minutes as a whole. So my original write up was another hidden blade, fourth of the night, and a stormbreaker, to which he kicks out. This is terrible. A kick out of the vertebraker. Then Osprey no sells the house call. And when I say no sell, I don't mean like he just popped right back up. He didn't move because his supreme leader, Mind Führer Moxley, in the corner of the group is over there cheering him on, saying, "Let's go, Will." And Will just powers up out of it.
Yeah, like Moxley had the urn. Like he was Paul Bearer in the early 90s. Like Moxley had the urn and just hyped up. You know, remember Taker used to have that with Paul Bearer at ringside? Paul Bearer would just hold up the urn and Taker would just pop up out of nowhere.
I mean, he literally he didn't move. I couldn't believe my eyes. And then he just stands up, hits another hidden blade, then hits a buckshot hidden blade. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. There's more. That's not the finish. Because then we have to pick Swerve up and hit a paradigm shift, a Death Rider, and then the Tiger Driver to beat Swerve Strickland.
And a gun.
Yeah, and a missile.
You have a gun? Bazooka. He's made an appearance. Bro, can you imagine if Taker and Shawn would just... Can you imagine Taker dropping Shawn with a tombstone 30 minutes into their match and Shawn just popping like just doing a kip up out of nowhere? Can you imagine that?
Well, I saw this on Ryan, or excuse me, I saw this on Twitter, Ryan. Actually, HBK and Taker did the finisher spam first. They're the ones that started this. So, I had time on my hands. Guess who went back and watched Shawn versus Taker WrestleMania 25 today? This guy right here. Guess who watched the last 10 minutes and counted how many finishers? 4. 4 finishers in the last 10 minutes of the match. That's what happened. It was a super kick. Oh, and the 4 actually was counting the elbow drop that Shawn Michaels does, if you count that as a finisher.
Oh, that's not no finisher.
So
Ain't beat
then
nobody with that.
So then we're dropping it to 3. It's a tombstone. You get the kick out. You get Taker making the face where he looks, all shocked or whatever. Shawn hits him with the Sweet Chin Music. And then later, Taker finishes it with a tombstone. You want me to go over the finishing last 5 minutes and how many finishers we got, Ryan?
Please do.
Okay. And I'll do the final tally at the end. Hidden Blade, Swerve Stomp, House Call, Kick out at 1, Hidden Blade, Kick out at 1, Hidden Blade, Stormbreaker, Kick out, Vertebraker, Kick out, Swerve's Hidden Blade onto Osprey. So a finisher steal, that counts. House Call that gets no sold because Paul Moxley in the corner has the powers of Hulk Hogan on his side. Hidden Blade, Buckshot Hidden Blade, Kick out, Paradigm Shift, Death Rider, Tiger Driver. 14 finishers in 5 minutes.
It sounds like you just don't like fun, Mike. Sounds like you just don't like graps. Now, do you hate wrestling? Just let me know here, right now, in front of all these people. Do you hate wrestling?
If this
that's
wrestling,
real graps right there. Yeah.
I don't want it. If this is wrestling, I don't want it.
You don't like anime? Micah, this is anime. This is the best of. This is what wrestling is, Micah. It's just like anime. You're taking it too serious.
And I love anime.
You know it's fake, right? You know it's fake.
There's no justification.
Taker and Shawn kicked out of finishers. Did you know that?
Yeah, 4 in 10 minutes.
What's wrong? You just don't like bangers, I guess. Oops, all bangers. You didn't
Oops,
like
all
your
beggars.
steak. Your steak was too buttery. Lobster too juicy. Is that what it
Oops,
was?
all finishers.
There you go. Yeah. You just hate wrestling, huh? You hate the young guys, Unk. Is that what it is? You
Yeah, I
rather
want
guys sit in a
my rest
headlock for
holds.
15 minutes? Yeah. That's what you like your Randy Ortons. Randy Orton, you can go, Randy. We got Osprey now.
And this
Yeah,
is
bro.
just
It's that's the modern fan. That's what they love to see. That's what they eat up. That's what Meltzer gives the big stars to. And that's how they build their big matches. And I'm starting to see a bigger and bigger like a pushback on Will Ospreay's matches lately. And I don't know if you said this on one of the shows, Mike, and maybe the last pay-per-view when Ospreay had this same type of match. But I think Will Ospreay is the worst wrestler in AEW.
I
That's
might go
saying
as
something.
far to say worst right now in the world, just because he's pushed so
Yeah.
far. Whereas, like, yeah, like, somebody on Evolve might suck, but they're not in the main event.
He's the worst main event wrestler in the entire world.
Yes,
Just
because
because his matches, they go way too far.
way too
And it's crazy
far.
that he's paired with Moxley now, which is the guy we were saying this about 2 years ago. But
Yeah, way too far, way too long, way too formulaic. Like, it's the same issue I have with Seth because Seth does the same contrived moves that, like, you only do these type moves off happenstance. But instead, you know, like that stupid flip around that he reverses, where, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but he does the same reversal in every match. He does the
where he
same
just like does
move.
a step up backflip off the guy's chest. Is that what you're talking about?
No, well, yes, that's one. He's gonna do that in every match. It's the
Got to
other
do
one where
that.
he
Yeah.
basically like flips around them and gets them in like a power bomb position.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna do that in every match. He's gonna hit 3 hidden blades in every match. Like, it's the same
He's
thing
gonna
over and over.
he's gonna kick out at one in every single match. Well, every single
Yes.
big match he does that. The kick out at one, the power up, the fighting spirit. And we go way too far. And this is probably this is I don't see how you can go any farther than this right here.
You can't.
This was the masterpiece of the finisher kickout spam that we've been talking about. Magnum opus, Micah. The
He's
creme de
put
la
some of the
creme.
takeovers to shame.
Bro, we called back in the day. There was a subsection of fans that were really sick of Gargano and NXT Black and Gold. We called him Johnny Kickout for a reason. I don't think this would bring Johnny Kickout to tears, bro. Like, this is 14 finishers in the last 5 minutes. You said,
Yeah. And there was more throughout the match. I guarantee you the total
of
count was
course.
probably 20 throughout the whole match.
And like we said earlier, Swerve was bleeding buckets. Like, if you're a longtime fan and you've seen that Eddie Guerrero JBL match that they had I think it was Judgment Day, where Eddie hit an artery and he was just pouring blood. That's how Swerve looked out for this whole match. Like, it was comical how much blood he was losing
Yeah.
and how many
Puddles.
finishers he was kicking out of. Yeah. Remember when Eddie was lost that much blood? He was selling like he had to go to the hospital, which I think he did after the show. But it was a realistic sell from being having the crimson mask and bleeding buckets. It was a realistic type of way to sell. Swerve, nah. Let me kick out of this finisher one more time.
Of course. And he's
And
just
then, yeah.
as much at fault for this because
Oh yeah,
obviously it's both of their match.
he loves
But
that. You saw he glazed it afterwards, Micah. He went on
oh
Twitter
yeah.
And for all the fans that hate all the WWE Unreal stuff, they think it exposes the business. Well, you're not gonna like what Swerve did. He tweeted out a love letter to Will Ospreay basically after this match, glazing himself, quoting himself, saying that they're the perfect match together. I don't know, man. It was just it was uncomfortable how much glaze he put on Ospreay. But yeah, Swerve's just much of an idiot as Ospreay is, and I've been saying it for the last 2 years now. Swerve is the biggest cornball in all of wrestling.
I've come around to it. I used to like him a lot, but like I don't buy him as a tough guy.
How you gonna be the most dangerous man, but you can't win a match?
I don't remember the last big match he's won.
He's just there to take L's, bro.
Yeah.
He's the vessel to be pinned, to move on to bigger and better things. Swerve.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah, the gatekeeper of the upper mid card. That's Swerve.
And I think both guys are outstanding athletes. I think Ospreay is a great athlete, but
Oh yeah, he should have been a gymnast.
yeah, an insanely terrible and overrated wrestler that I don't think history will lend itself to.
He's got a terrible mind for the business.
Yes. And you can't just like say, "Oh well, it's not your style, so you just don't like it." I love the lucha style. Some of my favorite stuff right now is lucha stuff in AAA. Like I liked Lucha Underground. Like I love the lucha style. It has nothing to do with that. You can't say, and because this is all stuff I've seen online, you can't say that finishers just don't mean anything whenever Kenny Omega has the most protected finish in the business. And he's like one of the cores of the AEW movement. And you remember the conniption fit that people had when Jade used the one-winged angel at WrestleMania because, oh my God, it demeans the one-winged angel. Oh, but Ospreay can hit 15 hidden blades, and that's fine. We love that. Like
Styles Clash.
yeah, the logic just doesn't make sense. And like you said, Will Ospreay does not fundamentally understand how to go about a wrestling match unless he can do this finisher spam, unless he can do his flippy reversals. He's a one-trick pony, and he's going to force this spot or any spots of his into every single big name match to the point that if you've seen one, you've seen all. And it's just bad for the sport at the end of the day. It's absurd, it's insulting, and 14 finishers in a 5-minute span is bad for the sport. I love anime, but this isn't anime. Wrestling is rooted in reality. And if you're having to hit 15 finishers in a match, why should anyone ever be afraid of you or your finisher?
Yeah, I agree, man.
And it's sad because they had something through 25 minutes. They had a good match here. All they had to do was take it home. And
I think it was never in doubt that Ospreay was going to win though. So I don't think that there was the drama around the match to have that type of match. Even if we just shave down the finishers to 7 instead of 14, still a lot. But maybe if you had a few that you could invest yourself in and you actually believe that Swerve had a shot in winning this, okay, maybe I can stomach that. But 14, we're at midnight Central Time, and we're bleeding buckets, and we're kicking out of 14 finishers. That's egregious, and that should never be a thing. And yeah, man, it left a very sour taste in my mouth for the ending of this pay-per-view. And of course, Moxley, they shot. I don't know if we talked about this already, Micah, but the ending of the match, Ospreay hits the Tiger Driver, and they shoot Moxley's face and almost missed the pinfall.
oh yeah.
Moxley was all over this show. And they almost missed the ending shot of the main event. because they had to see what Moxley was doing. Come on, man. You couldn't script it any better.
He's got a stranglehold on Tony. I don't know what it is, but I'm sick of him.
He's got some evidence about Tony, bro. He's got to have some naked pictures somewhere. I don't know what's going on. He's blackmailing Tony. There's no way.
I'll say this, and this will be the final thing. On Cage Match, Cage Match, they love AEW and the style. This match got a 8.9. The Mercedes Maya match got a 9.1. And this right here just goes to show you that these guys needed to pour buckets of blood to do all these finishers. And they did all of that with 11 extra minutes. And they still couldn't top this other match. And that just goes to show you that more is not always better. And until Will Ospreay learns that, he's going to stay exactly where he is. It's unwatchable, controversial, bad for the sport. It's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in AEW. So if he's on your team, you love it. But if he's not on your team, you can see objectively what it's doing. But regardless of that, Ryan, Forbidden Door has come and gone. We're closing the door, slamming the door on that main event. What was your match of the night and your official rating for Forbidden Door 2026?
I think Maya World, Sasha Banks were the best match of the night. The rating, man. Oh boy. I think the fact that the ending left a very sour taste in my mouth. So I can't give this nothing but maybe a 4.3. Give it a 4.3.
I agree with you on match of the night, and I hate it because I think that the match was so great that honestly it does lift up the rating. But there's just a lot of just stuff that was here. For instance, the Young Bucks match I didn't really care for. So the opener and closer to me were just The Stardom match, man, that was just embarrassing. I like Moxley, Bandito, Omega and Sabre did their thing. Umino and Pac was there. Honest to God, I think I'm just gonna give it a 5. I'll put it on par with the Night of Champions show. It was long, but I think that much like Night of Champions, there's one or two redeemable qualities out of the show. And yeah, that would be the Maya World match. And I suppose maybe if you bundle up 3 matches together and the fact that they were solid all around, then I give it the second point. So yeah, I'll go 5, maybe 5.5. I'll have to sit and digest it, honestly. But I also didn't watch it live. So had I sat here and watched 6 hours of this, my rating may be a little more skewed. But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, it's late. We've been talking for a long time, and there was a lot of wrestling to talk about. So we're going to get out of your hair. Thank you for sticking around with us. Make sure you come back next week. Ryan, do we have any pay-per-views this weekend?
I think we're okay. I'm good.
Cool. Praise God. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a good weekend. It's the 4th of July here in America. So if you're not living in the U.S., I'm sorry that you stink. If you are living in the U.S., celebrate your holiday. Have a good one. All jokes here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace, love. Take care of yourself. Enjoy family time. Come back next week. Have a good one.